Hello friends and followers. Well, once again, this is the motherboard from the TEC Omni 6 Plus Mod 3 that I just picked up off of eBay and it came in today. Of course, I took it apart as fast as I could because the gentleman said it had a screeching noise on the receive. Well, the screeching noise is the fact that it wasn't getting its minus 5 volts here on VCC minus to this big chip here, which goes to the DSP. And that's a common problem with these. So anyway, they have a charge pump here. And I never know what to do with this thing. It's like, I just replaced all the capacitors. I replaced this capacitor, replaced that one, replaced this one, and I put it back into the, put the motherboard back into the TEC and on the 6 Plus. And it didn't work for a while, and then it came on like they do when this thing kind of decides to go. And I thought, that's real crap. So, at any rate, it seems that there was another major shorter capacitor. Yeah, there's a big capacitor here somewhere. There's like a 100 UF. I'm not sure it's even on this schematic, or I think this one is on 100 UF. On the one I'm working on. Anyway, yeah, this one was open, it seemed, and it seemed like it could be shorting. So I replaced this. Actually, no, that's not it. There's another one here somewhere. It seems like it's across. Anyway, it seems like there's another capacitor on here. It's like 100 UF. I don't see it in the schematic, but it seemed directly on the output line here. So I replaced that. It's kind of cool here where they have this little diode here. So this is supposed to be minus. And if this voltage was plus, they will short it out to ground, which is pretty cool. Hopefully that doesn't get burned out. So that 220 should stop it from burning out. Anyway, where do I go with this story? This got replaced. Replaced the chip with a socket. Didn't touch the Xeniers because they're a pain to get out. Replace this, replace that. And what I found was I could get about 10 milliamps of current out of this thing at -5 or -8 volts. And I thought a direct short, 10 milliamps coming out of here, that's good. However, when I would short this out, I only got like 1 or 2 milliamps, if even that, like 0.2 or something. And I thought, how is that copacetic? And I don't quite understand what they're doing here. I know it's a voltage regulator. This is actually a PNP. So when this goes down, it'll conduct harder. I guess that makes sense. How does it feed back? I'm not sure. Anyway, I replaced this transistor. I just ripped out the one in there. I always thought maybe it had some problems, but it seems okay. So when I load this line down with a direct short, I don't get much out of it at all. At any rate, I've been checking this thing real time with injecting 12 volts into it. So here's the lab setup and here's the board. So I'm injecting 12 volts into where 12 volts goes, which is right here. That's 12 volts from the relay board on the radio. I grounded this little tab there where the screws go, and so now we got 12 volts going to this board, and oh, it's fired up, what do you know? So yeah, we do got not quite 12 volts going into it. Why not? Oh, I was futzing with it. Okay, there's 12 volts. Anyway, 12 volts into the board. Check it right there. Okay, let's spike it up a little bit. 13.8 or something. 14.14, that's fine. Now, this chip is busy making minus voltage through an oscillator and all that crap. So if I go on to pin number 5 here, sure enough, I have -8 volts, which is good. And that goes to pin 5 of this chip. And this chip wants about -5 volts, so I'm getting -5.6. So I guess I'm going to see if it works now. I'm going to put the motherboard back in, see if it goes. I thought about putting that chip back in there, but I thought, no, let's not do that. So maybe this thing will go. The whole thing is, will the charge pump come up dependably? And it seems like it's dependable now. Of course, I had to replace this capacitor, and you can't get these, damn phone, you can't get these damn things out. And if you do get them out, you can't get the holes clear with my solder sucker anyway. I can't clear the holes, so I had to kind of hack these things back in here. And I couldn't get out this transistor, so I hacked in this transistor, this PNP. It's really this is really a hack. But I figure, whatever, it's confined to this little area, and this is a charge pump, so it's not like it's any high-tech circuit. And if it works dependably, I guess I'm all set. So the whole trick is this thing has to keep putting out, you know, minus voltage, no matter what. And if I decrease this thing now, take it down, say to 10 volts going in from the power supply, it's still pumping out some charge here. If I crank this thing up to some horrendous voltage, 15 dot something volts, it's still putting out 8 volts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's still at 5.6, so it's fairly regulated. So anyway, I guess I'm going to slam this board back into the 10-Tech now and see how it goes. But yeah, if you want to check this thing like this and debug your charge pump, you can simply inject 12 volts here, put your 12 volts in here, ground it somewhere on one of these ground lugs here. One of these screw holes will be a ground. And then you can muck around with the charge circuit and just measure it. I pulled out this chip, some kind of audio chip or something for the DSP. I yanked it out because I don't want to burn it. And yeah, it's still cranking 8 volts out. So the whole thing is, when this thing came up, it just wouldn't crank out anything. It would wait a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it might spit out some stuff. So yeah, you do want this thing just to work. You don't want to F around this radio. So now the hard part is getting this motherboard back in. There's 6,000 connections, and I sure hope I don't have to take it out again. I'm not happy with my hack here, hacking this thing, but I'm not very good at unsoldering stuff from this thing. It has too many heatsink points where the grounds are on both sides, and I can't do much with it. So yeah, it's a hack, but I guess if the charge pump keeps working, I'm happy. So that's all so far that was wrong with this radio when I got it from eBay, was it wouldn't receive. And when I crossed the two wires that go from the IF board to the DSP, I think they go here and here. When I crossed those two, I got a raster, I got the so I knew it was this minus voltage, because I fixed a couple Omnis before in the past, in the last year or two. So I did one of these circuits before. Yep, it's hanging in there, so hopefully it's going to keep going. There's the capacitor I put in here is really holding power, so I would like this thing to drain down and try it, or else I guess I could short it. Let's see, do I have something to short it with? Short it out, see if it'll come back up. Guess I can short it with this. And then see if it'll come back up. There we go. Let's see what's on it now. Okay, a little bit of voltage left over. It's kind of floating around. Let's turn it back on. See what happened. Yeah, sometimes this thing comes up at 12 volts, and I'm like, what the hell? It's like there's a short somewhere. I think there was a short somewhere. So I almost want to beat this thing up a little bit. Let's see if I can short it before I put this back into the radio, right? torture it. I guess that'll break it, won't it? All right, let's see if it still works. Power on. Still going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still going. And yeah, I'm going to 5 because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the VCC minus pin. So it looks like this thing's finally working. I hope that thing's still working. That's your safety diode in case this thing goes positive. This thing will go positive for some reason, either a short or something, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna put the board back on the radio. It's a real pain in the keister to get it back in there, but this will be try number 2 of this board going back in the radio. And I think if it doesn't work, it's not coming back out tonight anyway. All right, if it works, I can try the radio out. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's an Omni 6 Plus. It's pretty clean. This was owned by an electrical engineering ham who had like 3 or 4 of these. I looked up his house, and because he's deceased, and I looked up his house on Zillow, and he had like 3 of these stacked in his workroom. So I guess he had 3 of them that didn't work. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.